guys, today I thought I would do book reviews for you guys, for all my readers out there. I have finally had some time to sit down and read a book and I could not be happier. For the longest time I was stuck on one book, and then in the past week or two I've read like 3 or 4, which is a lot for me because with school I got a lot of other stuff going on. But I'm going to share with you guys 4 books that I've read lately. I have read Part of the Pride by Kevin Richardson. I've read The Fault in Our Stars by John Greene. I have read David and Goliath, Underdogs, Misfits, and The Art of Battling Giants by Malcolm Gladwell. And I have read TheCuckoos Calling by Robert Galbraith, which is aka J.K. Rowling. First, I will start with the first book I read, which is TheCuckoos Calling, and I will let you guys know if I'm doing any spoiler alerts. So just pay attention for that if you haven't read it and you don't want to know. So TheCuckoos Calling. I had extremely high expectations for this book. I love Harry Potter. I would recommend Harry Potter to every single person that I talk to. This book, not so much. It ended good, I will say that. It's more of a mystery type book, which I like. What I like about these 4 books I've read, they are all kind of a different genre almost. So this book is like mystery, killer, suspense kind of book. I did finally get into the book like halfway through it, but up until that point, when I was at 20% of the book, at 40% of the book, I was like, this book is really boring. Like, when is it gonna pick up? When's something exciting gonna happen? And it just kind of took forever. I guess that's kind of how Harry Potter is, like, on the first one almost. Like, it took me a while to get through the first book, and it did have a lot of good reviews. It's very well written. It was just really hard to get into, and I was almost like forcing myself to read it a lot. The next book I read, I ended up actually having to read it for school, and it was the David and Goliath, Underdogs, Misfits, and The Art of Battling Giants. And at first I was very much like, ugh, I don't want to read this book, really. I thought the whole book was going to be on the story of David and Goliath, and I mean, a whole entire book about that could be kind of boring. No offense. Then, before I even started reading it, I did buy it on my Kindle, but I saw it on Target on like the bestseller stand, so I was like, oh, maybe this book isn't so bad after all. And it's not. It's really cool. It's almost like a study kind of book. It starts out and it tells you the story of David and Goliath, but then it reminded me of Chicken Soup, like the Chicken Soup books. In each chapter, it told you like true stories that kind of pertain to David and Goliath, with Misfits, with Underdogs, all that stuff. It really makes you think about how the world perceives things. You know, it's not an action-packed book, but it's something that really gets your mind thinking. It talks about people with disabilities, and especially people who are dyslexic, and it talks about how, even though they might have a really hard time reading, how they could still really excel in life even though they usually don't do so well in school. It talks about a lot of famous people and really successful people, and a lot of them are dyslexic. It tells you about this one guy who is dyslexic, didn't do too well in school, couldn't really read well, and he figured out a way to get through law school and become one of the best lawyers. So it has really cool stories like this where the supposed underdog could really come out on top. So it's really cool. I really like it. Next, I read Part of the Pride, which is kind of like an autobiography type of book, I would say. And this book is really cool. I saw the video on Facebook of Kevin, which is this guy, you know, hugging and playing with lions. And then I was really intrigued and interested, so I wanted to see like how he developed these bonds with these animals and stuff, and you know, what his life is like with these animals, I guess, because I just think it's really cool and I love animals. So I did some research, found this book. I really want to watch the movie that he was a part of creating. Then it talks about it in here. It has all kinds of pictures and stuff, and I got this off Amazon too. But it was only like $7, I think. I would definitely recommend reading this. It's a super easy read. It's a quick read too. And the last book I read is The Fault in Our Stars, which is really popular, I feel like. And they are coming out with the movie. That's not really why I wanted to read it. That's generally not my type of movie. I like more action-packed movies. This is something my mom and sister would drag me to see, but I read it and it was really good. And I knew it was gonna have a sad ending, but I read it anyways. It was very interesting the whole way through. It was a really quick and easy read. I think I read it in like a day. And I wanted to talk about the ending and kind of my interpretation of the ending. So this is a spoiler alert. You might want to skip towards the end or just close the video because this is the last book I'm talking about. But my interpretation of the ending is that she does die. Yeah, I have a bad interpretation, I know. I should think the best and that she lived. I feel like she was at peace kind of with her situation, and you know, she made sure her parents were okay, and I feel like she was really at peace, and kind of like her favorite book that she read where the book just ended mid-sentence and you know, it was kind of inferred that the girl died. I think this is kind of the same thing, same kind of ending. I think she did end up dying, but I think she was just well at peace with that. It was sad. It put me in a funk for the rest of the night. I was just kind of like, oh, well, this is lovely to think about right now. But it was good. I think if you know, you can infer that it's gonna have a somewhat bad ending. So let me know if you guys like this video. I just kind of wanted to do a quick recap of the books I've read lately. Let me know what you think. What books have you read? What books should I read next? I'm looking for a book to read. I don't have one right now. So let me know what a good book is you've read lately. Let me kind of know what it's about. And yeah, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.